I thought I'd take a look at my um, fire kit that I carry, and it's pretty basic. This here is fat wood that I take. Now, these are basically cubes, and they're very combustible. They're solid fuel cubes, and they're called S-bits. And you can break them, cut them with your knife or whatever, and throw them in a fire and then light them. You don't need that whole cube. If you were actually going to boil water, you could use the whole cube. I don't like these for boiling water because they have a fishy smell to them, is what they have. So, but these are great. I mean, you figure I get 4 out of each one. So you figure that's 12 automatic fires if I want. This here is considered a dragon fire. It's like an alcohol. You can wash your hands with it, boil water with it. I keep this in my actual pot set, but I thought I'd put it in there for you to see, and it's pretty expensive. It's not cheap. These are called Light My Fires, and they light pretty easy. I only carry 2. Obviously, a Bic lighter. Okay. A candle. You can take a candle and light it and slide it underneath the fire. And, you got any damp wood or anything, it's going to help burn it. This fat wood is more or less used for kindling. I just changed this out today. And basically, it's called Light My Fire. This stuff's hard to find. You usually got to get it on eBay or whatever. This is like a cotton or something impregnated with something. And you can light it with a ferro rod. And, or a lighter or whatever. And again, it works like a very long candle, so you can slide that underneath your wood. And then have yourself a fire that way. So, and this is obviously one of those bellows that you extend and you blow on to help the fire go. Now, in the old days, I had a lot of stuff. I had way too much stuff for creating a fire. If you look at this thing, this is special metal shavings. When I open this and drop this stuff burns underwater. This is like emergency fire kill. You know, it's been raining, the wood's all soaking wet, it's pain to get it lit. You could go with the S-bit or you could go with the Light My Fire, but I dump some of this on or even combine it. It's gonna make some fire very quickly. This here is something I do use. It's basically a rope that you extend, okay, is what you do. And then you light this on fire, and then it continues to burn down like a wick. You can go along any length, and then you just snuff it out by doing that. But, you can set that underneath your fire. So, I have a few different options for lighting a fire. A fire is very serious. All right? Very, very serious. I mean, it's going to keep you warm. It helps you cook your food. You can signal. There's so many things a fire does. It's unbelievable. And you really should know how to light a fire in many different conditions. Now, do you need all this? No, you could use dryer lint. You could use cotton balls with Vaseline on them. You don't need to spend money on this stuff. I mean, it's just convenience is what it is. And when I have convenience, it just makes life a whole lot easier. Most of the time, I don't even light a fire. Most of the time, I put alcohol in my alcohol stove, and then I cook with my alcohol, and it's usually warm enough. Fires are used to keep warm, and I don't like fires most of the time because of the sparks. If you light a fire too close to your tarp, then you get holes in your tarp, or, in your clothes. The smoke in your face sucks. I mean, I'm really not lighting that many fires. And that's just me. I mean, a lot of people love to have a fire no matter what and sit there looking at the fire and enjoying the time with the fire. It's better in the fall and the winter to enjoy a fire than it is in the summer right now. But right now, we're 115 degrees here in Tennessee. That's 115 degrees Fahrenheit. When you go outside right now, it is very difficult to breathe. And I have great lungs. Even when my doctor checks my lungs, he's amazed at how well my lungs are. There's no crackling, there's no nothing in my lungs. My lungs are great. I did quit smoking over 10 years ago, so it's one of the best things I ever did. If you're thinking about doing it, please do. It's going to change your life forever. But as you see from these items, you're basically creating a kit that you feel is going to light a fire in many different circumstances, is what you're trying to do. When it's raining, if you're in an area where it snows. We really don't snow much in Tennessee. We might get one night of snow, and then after that it's gone. But there are many ways to light fires when the wood is wet. There's many ways to light fires when you got perfect conditions. I mean, it is very important for you to realize what your kit is going to dictate. So if you feel you're going to light fires in wet weather, you may want to have some SPET tabs or light my fire. Or you may want to have some of these metal shavings that light hot. Okay, because just the ferro rod, is not going to light a fire. It's going to need help. This is your go-to for everything. Light a candle, shove it underneath, whatever you're setting up. Try to find dry firewood, that's inside of a log, not so much what's out in the environment. So you can really, really get a fire. Now, once you get a pretty hot fire going, throwing some wet wood on there is not going to be a big deal because it will dry it. It's just going to smoke a lot. And that's very important to understand. I love this stuff. I love live fire. It's very hard to find. Like I said, I've got a few of these now because I've seen them on eBay. But it's not like you can get them off Amazon anywhere. And I fell in love with this stuff. They do make smaller ones, but I like the bigger one like that. I like how I can use it, close it, and it's reusable over and over until I burn it up. Like I said, I just replaced this one. My original I had in here, I've had it in there for, oh Lord, probably 8 years. It lasted a very long time. Okay? But having a fire kit is a must in your backpack. And somebody that hikes the Appalachian Trail, for example, would say this is overkill. People that hike the Appalachian Trail would go with a smaller ferro rod. They would go with maybe a candle. They would keep their fire kit very small. I like convenience. And this entire kit actually fits inside a bag, okay, like this. This bag clips inside my backpack is what it does. It's a very light bag. The ferro rod connects to my knife on my belt is what that does. So if I take everything and I just start putting it inside the bag, I don't even need to worry about, overpacking it or anything because it's all going to fit in here quite conveniently. And it's good to pull your kit out and take a look at your fire kit. This is going to go in my pot set. So you go and take a look at that. Total weight of this is... Now, a lot of people want to know the weight of things. So the weight of this fire kit is a grand total of 6.6 ounces. So this is pretty light. Okay. And that's also very important to consider the weight of something you're carrying. So I got a 6-ounce fire kit, and because it has this, it clips on the inside of my pack, so I know exactly where it is. So when it comes time to make a fire, take my pack off, throw it on the ground, undo one zipper, pull this off, and now everything that's in here, okay, is I've decided I'm going to make a fire, and everything's inside this super light bag that I originally bought with my backpack. So if it's been some time and you haven't taken a look at your fire kit, I would suggest you go and take your fire kit out of your pack and sit down at your kitchen table and reevaluate, do you really need everything? I used to have a lot more in my fire kit and it weighed a lot more. So now I'm starting to cut weight and trying to figure out what do I really need and don't I need. Because like I said, I rarely have fires. But to leave that home and not take it would be kind of foolish. Let's also understand I've switched over to alcohol stoves so I could pour some alcohol on whatever I'm trying to start, light it with my Bic, and that would light too. That's another way of starting a fire, but I want to save my alcohol for cooking. At any point, I suggest you take a look at your fire kit and reevaluate if everything in there is something you need. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.